Now, as Israel faces an uptick in attacks across the West Bank, and just a day after IDF chief Aviv Kochavi pointed to the inaction of the Palestinian Authority as one of the factors contributing to the strengthening of terror groups in the West Bank, a group of Israeli bereaved families is protesting against the idea to release Fatah prisoners from Israeli jails in order to strengthen the Fatah movement who rules the Palestinian Authority. The families have appealed to Defense Minister Benny Gantz, saying the thought that releasing terrorists will calm the spirits in the Palestinian Authority is likened to the thought that releasing rapists into the streets will increase the safety of women. The Israeli government and the security establishment must take a tough hand against terrorism. For more on this story, I'm joined now by Brenda Lemkus, mother of Dalya Lemkus, who was stabbed to death in a terror attack at the West Bank settlement of Alon Shvut back in 2014. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Brenda.
Thank you. Hi, good evening.
Brenda, first talk to us about your letter to Defense Minister Benny Gantz. Your message is clear: no to the early release of convicted terrorists.
Absolutely not. As it is, their time in jail is really a holiday. Their privileges and the way that they're treated is like a hotel. We unfortunately do not have the death penalty, and now we're talking about releasing people, terrorists, who only want to murder to become free people. What exactly is the aim?
Brenda,
to have them kill more of us, more civilians, more... Just all they want to do is murder us.
Brenda, as we know, Israel has been operating extensively to try and curb the latest wave of terror. We've seen over 1,500 arrests just over the past 4 months, and yet the terror wave continues to rise. Many in the defense establishment do believe that the Palestinian Authority should be strengthened in order to protect Israeli civilians. Do you acknowledge the importance of Israel's security coordination with the PA? Do you see any alternative to this?
Well, we do want peace, and in inverted commas, so do the Arabs. However, releasing murderers to prevent murder it just doesn't make any sense. Just as releasing rapists to defend women at risk doesn't make any sense. You're giving the cat the opportunity to look after the cream, and that's just not going to work.
And Brenda, of course, we know also that the killer of your daughter was actually spent time in Israeli prison before he came out to execute that terror attack. Talk us through your story.
So, well, first of all, why here you're giving a perfect example of people, murderers who have spent time in prison are not afraid to go back. So why does our government think at this point that by releasing them, they're going to make peace? Where's the peace here? All they want to do is go out again and murder. We see this also very clearly with the release of terrorists in the Shalit deal. How many of those terrorists returned as murderers? A lot of my friends in our group, the bereaved parents, were murdered by released terrorists from the Shalit deal.